Good day, my friends. It is the 25th of January, 2023. We're almost through the first month of the year. Crazy. It's going fast, like it always does. How are you? Thank you for being with me today. Today's a bit of a pep talk, I think, a good one, if I do say so myself. I should say, an important. That's what I'll say. I'll clarify it that way. Please do let me know that you are here. That always makes my day when I see your names pop up in the comments feed. It's a busy day around my house. I had a mattress delivered today, which I can't even tell you. I've been sleeping on an aero bed for like, I don't know, a couple months. It's not bad. I mean, it's a good aero bed, and I kind of decked it out, so it was good. But I'm just so excited to have my mattress. I don't have a bed frame yet. That's coming. I'm saving my ducats, because I really want to get the bed frame of my dreams. So I'm being patient and waiting, but I do have a mattress, so yay me. Let's see, what else? Hi, John. How are you? How are you doing? You are. So tell me. What else is happening? It's raining here today in Thompson Station, Tennessee. And, things are just a titter. It's a little bit busy around my house. So I'm happy to take these 15, 20 minutes with you and kind of chill and refocus. So our topic today is how to have faith in your work and keep going. Take courage, I guess, is the title of the substance, right? How to have faith in your work and keep going. I want to start off by saying that I'm really aware that this voiceover thing, this voiceover career, is not easy. And sometimes we get into it because we think we're going to make good money and it's going to be less taxing than any 9-to-5 job that we've had. We're not going to feel like we're, working for the man and always giving of ourselves to somebody else's endeavors. And there's a lot of that is true. We do get to make our own schedules, and we do get to decide when we're going to work, how we're going to work, what kind of jobs we're going to take, what kind of pay we will accept. All of those things. They're true. And we get to make our own hours. And those are all, again, those are great things. Until we come face to face with the realities of the work itself. And I hear a lot of people say, yeah, I used to work 9-to-5 or 9-to-6, and then I started my own business, and now I work 24/7. And that's true when you engage in a voiceover career, in a creative career. And then we discover that, there are these hurdles that we surpass, right? We get ourselves over these hurdles. And one of them is, of course, how will I find audition opportunities? And then we find a couple of places where we do get audition opportunities, and then we have to get to know the ins and outs of those particular means of getting auditions. We have to figure out the algorithms of the thing, and that could be a full-time job in and of itself, right? Trying to figure out voice 1, 2, 3 and how to keep auditions coming to us consistently. And then we have this issue of working in our own little booths with no one there to tell us how we're doing, no one there to give us an assessment of whether our work is on par, is up to speed, is competitive. And then all these, thoughts creep in about, am I doing well? Is this good enough? Am I ever going to book a job? How will I ever make a living at this? All of those things. And, we end up just realizing that there is, in a certain sense, there's a simplicity to the work, and then there's emotional complication, to the actually living out the day-to-day of a career in voiceover, the ups and downs. And there's a lot we have to do to, I think, and this is sort of my point of view and what I believe and what I've experienced, we have to get really comfortable in our own skin to be able to weather the ups and downs of a career in voiceover. And I think for many of us, there are a lot more downs than there are ups, and we have to make peace with it. We have to make peace with it, or we're just going to be miserable, and we're going to end up beating ourselves up and all of that. So what a happy topic. But the important sentence here, how to have faith in your work, how to have faith in your work in order to keep going. And this is where I think the answer is pretty... Sorry, my dog is making noises, and she was a little sick to her stomach earlier today, doing a lot of laundry as a result. So I just heard her make a funny noise, and I was like, oh, please, no. Anyway, she's fine. Let's see, where was I? Oh, here is the most crucial thing about how to continue to have faith in our work. And the question comes out of, the problem comes out of the fact that we do our work by ourselves in our booths. And I don't care what level of voiceover you're working at. I don't care if you're just beginning. I don't care if you're working pay-to-play sites. I don't care if you're represented. I don't care if you've been at it for a long time or you're just beginning. This is the new normal. We work in our booths by ourselves. A very lucky few these days get to go in studio to do the work. Animation is still living in that world. They didn't, they went home studio during the pandemic, but now they're back. They're moving back into in-studio stuff. So that's kind of a little rarefied air there. It's a small select group of people who actually get to go in studio, work with real life people face to face. So that's the crux of it. So this is why it is so important to find community. That is the bottom line. It's imperative. And we have to find it in a few different ways. I am one who would encourage you to, once a year, go to a voiceover convention. You don't have to go all the time, and you don't have to go to all of them. But going to a voiceover convention and taking workshops at voiceover conventions is so helpful. You will, my dog, you will be able to study with agents, casting directors, fellow talent, and you'll get to sit in a room and listen to other people, and you will put yourself into an environment where you can get feedback about what you're doing. And there's nothing like feedback, right? We have to know what we're doing in order to have some sense of where we are in the world of voiceover. So that's a big one to me. That's a big piece of staying connected. You also make friends. You make friends who are doing the same thing that you are, who are struggling in the same way that you are. It's so important to know that you're not alone. So added on to that, I would say what's really helpful is to put yourself into a workout group on a somewhat regular basis. with your peers, with people who are sort of working at the same level or maybe a little better than you. Um, you don't have to do it all the time. And if you can't find a workout group, put one together yourself. Just ask some peers to meet up. You can do it just once. You can do it twice a year. But get a few of your voiceover compatriots together to just work on some copy and get and give feedback. Hugely important. Again, I can't even tell you. I do this on occasion. I've done it with people that I've been in the business with for decades, and I've done it with people who don't have the same type of voiceover career that I do, but are successful, equally successful, if not more successful financially than I am, perhaps, but they've come at it from a completely different angle. And we get together, and there are times when we just exchange auditions. We just share a website and we upload things that we've worked on, and we ask each other for feedback. So helpful, can't even tell you. And we do it until we don't anymore. And then we let it go, and then perhaps we'll come back and revisit it in 4 months or 6 months. I've done that sort of thing when I wanted to work on dialects. I've just gotten a couple of people together that I know who want to work on dialects. And I've said, hey, I know a dialect coach. Would you guys like to go in on a series of 2 or 3 dialect coaching sessions? And then we get together with a dialect coach, and we get to hear what each of us is doing, and we get feedback, and it's fantastic. And it helps to secure my sense that what I'm doing is competitive. It's acceptable. I'm on the right path. So the other thing I want to say is, I mentioned I guess it was last week, how, I have these posts in this group. I'm trying to think of what Mondays is, but I know Tuesday, Tasty Tuesday, where we get to talk about food. Wednesdays is this. I got Thankful Thursdays, and then I got Friday Brag. And nobody brags. Nobody brags. And I understand that. I think I attract a particular type of person who's not terribly showy. But the point is not to be showy. The point is to have a place, a safe place, if you will, to present things that you are proud of. And I think perhaps we think, oh, I'm only allowed to post work that I've done. And wow, I haven't done any work lately, so I don't have anything to post. No, if you feel really good about an audition that you did, you can post it. And I would say, I don't think I have to say, but I will say that we can either, if you decide you want to make a post like that, you can either say, I'm looking for some constructive criticism about this particular read, or I just want to share this read. I don't want any instruction. And I think that this group is pretty good at listening and honoring people and our requests for things like that. But those, again, are opportunities for you to put yourself out there and to be affirmed for the work that you're doing. Even if the work is auditioning, and that is the work, really. We tend to sort of think, well, I can't really post anything unless it's some big project, and it was, it's just not true. I mean, there are so many things that count as work in this business that we ought to count as work. Most of us, our work is auditioning, and every once in a while we get, thrown a bone with a booking. So we have to honor the work. And when the work is auditions too, we have to honor that work as well. Sometimes I do auditions and I think, you know what, that was a fantastic audition, and I don't book it. Most of the time, I mean, I don't think every one of my auditions is fantastic. They're good enough for me to send, but there are times when I have an audition where I go, you know, I think that's worthy, and I don't book it. Oh well, you know. So I hope I'm not going off on a tangent here, but the point is, in order to have faith in our work, we have to put our work out there with people who care and are kind and conscientious to get feedback about it, who can affirm for us that the work that we're doing is good, that we're on the right path. None of us can say that our work is, how do I want to put this? I don't compare the work that I did in my late 20s to the work I do now. That would be totally unfair to my late 20s self. We're all growing. I'm a better voice actor today than I was in my 20s. And so we have to allow ourselves room to grow. So if you're new, relatively new, if you're still really inside of the auditioning, more auditioning than there is work, there's always more auditioning than there is work, but you know what I'm saying. We have to honor our progress. And so putting yourself out there with your peers, being willing to get some feedback, some constructive criticism, and affirmation for what you're doing. That's how we maintain faith and confidence in our work, and that is what allows us to keep going. The times when I have been at rock bottom and thought, oh man, I should just hang it up. I'm not booking. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I lost this job, or I lost that thing, or I lost this agent, or what have you. It was always my friends in the business who reminded me of who I am and what I do, and that I'm good at it, and that the nature of this business is cyclical, and times like that happen. They do. So I'm going to leave it there. And I just want to say that I hope that you will be brave, and take courage and invest yourself in relationships in this business and connect in any way that you can. And again, VO Atlanta's coming up, and I know One Voice is coming up in, I think, late summer. And I encourage you to go. I really do. And go and connect and put your work out there so that your work can be affirmed. And that is how we muster and cultivate our confidence and our faith in what we're doing. So there you go. Genevieve, I see you. Thank you so much for joining me today on this topic. And if you are getting to it late still, please feel free to add to the comments. And if you've got questions, ask them. I always revisit and do my best to answer them. And you can always DM me and find me where you may. I think we've got one more. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. I think we have one more Wednesday live, and then I think we are moving to Tuesdays, and we're changing a bit of the format, which will be announced. It'll be posted and stuff. But we're just going to have Ask Me Anything Tuesdays. So come when you want to. Give me your questions, and I will do my best to answer them. So that'll be fun. I don't know. I'm kind of excited about that because I always like getting questions from you, because I you know, I want to know what you want. I want to give you what you want and what you need. So hopefully that will be useful to you. So there you go. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday and rest of the week, and I will see you next week. All right? Have a great weekend. Ciao, everybody.